Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Let's get to work and take a look here at the weekly charts this morning. So both of the indexes, the SPY and the Qs, are both setting up right now in weekly squeezes. However, while the SPY does look like she kind of wants to maybe make a move here, the Qs are just a little bit more kind of lame, so to say, back and forth. So we're taking a look here at this weekly squeeze for the SPY. You can see the futures are up about 1% this morning. I got the Keltner channels up here in the purple, and this is 2.5 ATRs away from that 21 EMA. So I guess there's always the potential for the market to just keep on pushing here, and maybe this weekly squeeze just goes ahead and keeps on pushing, but I think a little bit unlikely, at least not without a pullback first. So if we take a look at the daily chart, and the same thing here, guys, we're measuring 2.5 ATRs from the 21 EMA. 2.5 ATRs away from the mean, and we do got all this bullish momentum right now. It's just, think in terms of probabilities. If you kind of start, jumping into long positions, once we've made that 2.5 to 3 ATR move away from the 21, just, typically isn't going to be the best long entry. So I'm looking at the Qs here, and as far as entries goes, I actually think it looks a lot better than the SPY. We can definitely keep pushing here, but we've made a nice move away from the 21, and I think before that weekly squeeze, even has the potential to fire, more likely to get a pullback first. So this brings me to the Qs. The Qs. And, we're only down about 0.25% here this morning, but here's what I like about the Qs. You're holding nicely above the 21 EMA. We've yet to really make that 2-3 ATR move away from the 21, and you do have some bullish momentum coming in here. So I look at the 21 EMA, call it a launching pad. The market tends to hang out just for a little bit at the 21, and then you make that 2.5 to 3 ATR move away from the mean. So as we're just chopping above her right now, I'm looking at this bullish momentum coming in. I'm open-minded to the idea of getting put credit spreads underneath that 21 EMA. So I do have one position heading into today's session on the NDX, which is just the index here for the Qs, where I sold the put credit spread that expires not this Friday, but the following Friday at 11,600. So those are the strikes that I chose there. And, typically the indexes are moving relatively in the same fashion, but we know the Qs have just been a little bit more sloppy, with a SPY here has really been making a nice push. So the major thing to keep in mind is that, let's say, SPY makes a nice push here, gets a little bit exhausted, and really starts coming back home towards the mean, there is a good chance I could impact technology as well. So as I'm trading the Qs here, my whole focus is, are we holding above that 21 EMA? As long as we're holding above the mean, I can collect the premium from any put credit spreads that I sell underneath the moving average. So those are my thoughts on the market, guys. And if we do get a bit of a dip here in tech today, and then, 30-minute chart, hourly chart, 2-hour, etc., start to show signs of exhaustion, followed by signs of bullish momentum, I might be open-minded to taking another position. But I got one right now, not looking to force the issue. So here's a couple good-looking setups I got my eye on. Alrighty, so let's start with weekly squeezes. And, for all of these, I'm not really looking to trade the weekly squeeze just yet, but they are setups I'm definitely keeping my eye on. Continue to squeeze for a couple more weeks. These get nice and tight. It could make for some good swing trade opportunities. So I'm just keeping an eye on them for now. But Amazon's got a nice looking weekly squeeze, excuse me. So you got your Microsoft as well in a weekly squeeze. I would like a bit of a pullback here. And then you got your Facebook in a weekly squeeze. Definitely need a pullback in that one. My favorite weekly squeeze right now is Boeing. But Boeing is gapping up again this morning, so I'm not looking to chase this. If it goes, it goes. I would love a bit of a pullback, maybe towards that 21 there on the daily chart, and then I would definitely be looking for an entry to play this weekly squeeze. You can buy Delta 70 calls that expire in a couple of months. You can go with a call debit spread, a put credit spread, but I really do like the weekly squeeze here. If we just take a look at the daily chart, she's made that nice move, and it doesn't mean the move is over, but if we just pull back those Keltner channels, we've made a 2.5 ATR move away from the mean. So you won't find me chasing Boeing. I'm looking for daily squeezes that have yet to make that nice push away from the 21. So let's get those Bollinger Bands back up here. And not a bad looking one here in Roku. Just above that 21 EMA, you got a little bit of bullish momentum coming in here on the squeeze indicator. That's a good looking setup. Keep an eye on that one. Restoration Hardware. This thing's just been a total pain in the ass. It's been in this beautiful daily squeeze. It just doesn't want to crack. So you get that huge push last week, comes right back down, but it is a good looking squeeze. You still got that bullish momentum building up. All that energy's got to get released sometime soon. Let's see if it can be to the upside here. So keeping an eye on restoration. Still got the put credit spread over there. everybody's favorite Tesla. Not the best looking daily squeeze, and from a momentum perspective, nothing really looking bullish, nothing looking really bearish. I don't think it's the best looking squeeze. So it came up on the scans, figured I'd throw it out there to you guys. Not really one I'm going to focus on. And a little bit less of exciting names here. You got AutoZone, not a bad looking daily squeeze. And last but not least, you got FedEx. This is actually a good setup. You know, what I love about FedEx here is just the trend. Really beautiful trend here, taking a nice breather, building up some energy. Does the trend continue? That's one to keep an eye on as well. And last but not least, guys, let's break it down to the 4-hour charts. And I know everybody loves the tech stocks, so you got some stuff to work with here today. Amazon, good looking 4-hour squeeze. Microsoft, a good looking 4-hour squeeze. And then last but not least, Facebook, in a really good looking 4-hour squeeze. So remember, with these tech names, and really any name, you want to trade that squeeze typically in the direction of the overall market. So this morning, for example, if the Qs are fading and Amazon's fading and Microsoft, etc., don't think we want to be forcing the issue here at Facebook, trying to play it to the upside. Just take the path of least resistance and you'll be good. And then one more here for you guys. Definitely the strongest name by far in technology lately, Google, a good looking 4-hour squeeze here as well. So those are a couple of setups I'm focusing on, but for me, I think in this environment, I'm looking to keep it simple. Mainly going to be focusing on trades on the index. So while I do think the SPY is a little bit extended right now, it could certainly continue to pump. But with that being said, I just like the structure here of the Qs a little bit better. Doesn't mean it's going to make the move I'm looking for, but that's rather, that's where I'd rather put my risk. So if the bullish momentum coming in, hanging above the 21, if we can sell some put credit spreads underneath and then get that nice 2.5, 3 18-hour move away from the mean, that will bring us right up here towards that previous resistance. Not a bad little move. So I wish you guys the best of luck, and I'll talk to you soon.